New Orleans, 1870s, a city alive with music and mystery, where magnolias perfumed the air and the French Quarter bustled with voices in French, Spanish, and English. Carriages clattered across cobblestone streets, and lantern lights shimmered against wrought iron balconies. On the edge of this vibrant world lived Clara Johnson. A young widow, scarcely in her late 20s, she filled her days teaching children their letters and their numbers. Her nights, however, were quiet. Too quiet. Loneliness sat with her at the supper table, shadowed her as she prepared for bed, and lingered when she woke. But one morning her quiet life changed, for among the stack of bills and notices on her doorstep lay a letter sealed with a family crest she did not recognize. It was not meant for her. The ink on the envelope bore the name Étienne Duval, a surname known in whispers throughout the city, sugar barons with fortunes stretching across Louisiana and back to Paris. Clara hesitated, then broke the seal. Inside, she found words written in elegant French script, the voice of a man weary of his own wealth, writing to his cousin of family expectations and of a weariness that no riches could soothe. Dearest cousin, the halls of this house grow heavier with each passing night. I am surrounded by gold and crystal, yet I long for something I cannot name. My family presses me toward marriage, but none of the women paraded before me stir my spirit. I feel like a guest in my own life. Clara read the letter twice. Something in its honesty pierced her. She knew she should set it aside. But that evening, with a candle flickering on her desk, she took up her pen. Monsieur Duval, forgive me. Your letter found its way to me in error. I ought to have returned it unopened, yet your words held such sincerity that I could not. I promise your secret is safe, though I am a stranger. C.J. She expected no reply. Étienne might have ignored her. Yet a week later, another envelope arrived. Mademoiselle C.J., your note startled me, yet delighted me. In all my years of correspondence, no one has answered me without expectation. Might I be bold enough to ask what fills your days? And so began their unlikely exchange. One letter turned into two. Two became four. Soon, weeks slipped away in folded pages and spilled ink. Étienne wrote of his family's estates, gilded banquets, and endless responsibilities that felt like shackles. Clara wrote of chalkboards, children eager to learn, and evenings spent in solitude. Through their letters, they discovered each other. Clara, he confessed in one, your words stay with me longer than the finest wine. They echo when I lie awake at night, and I find myself reaching for my pen simply to feel near you. Étienne, she replied, your letters have become my companions. The silence of my home no longer feels so heavy. When I read your words, it is as though you are seated across from me, speaking them aloud. Their exchanges grew longer, more tender. The formality slipped away, replaced by something far more dangerous: affection. But love in that time was no simple thing. Clara was a black woman in the Reconstruction South. Though she was respected in her community, society beyond those streets was quick to judge, quick to punish. Étienne, meanwhile, bore the weight of his family's expectations. They dreamed of him marrying a noblewoman of Paris, binding wealth to wealth. What they were building together, in secrecy, on paper, could not survive in daylight. And yet the letters continued. Clara, he wrote, I fear I am a coward. To know you only by ink is to starve with food in sight. Will you grant me a meeting? One moment, no more. Mardi Gras is approaching. Under the lanterns of Jackson Square, masked as strangers, we might share a single dance. Clara pressed the letter to her chest. Her heart leapt, but fear coiled around it. What if he recoiled when he saw her? What if this fragile beauty crumbled outside the safety of ink? Étienne, she answered at last, your request is bold, and my heart both trembles and longs for it. I cannot promise I will come, but if courage overtakes fear, perhaps you will see me among the masks. The night of Mardi Gras arrived. New Orleans glowed like a jewel, streets alive with music, laughter, and masks of every color. Fireworks painted the sky in gold and crimson as lanterns swung from balconies. Clara stood in the crowd, her mask simple, her hands trembling inside her gloves. Around her swirled dancers, drunkards, children chasing confetti. She told herself she would leave, but her feet did not move. And then she felt it. A presence, a gaze fixed upon her. She turned, and there he was. Étienne wore no mask. His eyes were clear, searching, certain. He had known her instantly, not by her face, not by her skin, but by the soul he had come to love through her letters. Without hesitation, he stepped forward, took her hand, and drew her into the dance, their first dance, a dance that belonged only to them. Beneath the swirl of costumes and music, they moved as though they had always known each other. For one night, in the chaos of Mardi Gras, they were free. The world beyond that square would never be kind. They both knew it. His family would never approve. Her community would whisper. Yet, in that moment, none of it mattered. In their final letters, written days later, they sealed their promise of love for each other. Clara, no matter the world's judgment, I will always know you between the lines. And I you, Étienne, whether near or far, in silence or in ink, I am yours. And so their story slipped into the fabric of New Orleans, a city built on masks and music, secrets and love, a city where tales of forbidden romance whisper still, like the echo of footsteps across cobblestone streets. If this love story touched your heart, show some love back, like the video, and subscribe for more. Tell me in the comments, should their love story continue or end with mystery?